The SSC CGL Tier 1 live mock has been conducted on the Oliveboard platform, and I'm here to discuss the logical reasoning section with you in detail. So let's quickly start with the very first question right in front of you. Now this question, when I saw this for the first time, when I was solving the same mock on the Hindi channel, I actually skipped this question first and then came back to it later on. But now I know what is the logic. But just to explain it to you, what all you might think, how will you proceed when you're looking at this question? So the first thing you might think of is, okay, 11, 2, 25. So probably 11 multiplied by 2 is 22. And then we'll take it closer to 25 by adding 3. But 8 into 9 is 72. So this is not applicable here. Then you'll think, okay, 11 plus 2, 13 plus 12 is 25. 8 plus 9, 17 plus 12 is also 29. Oh, wow, jackpot. 7 plus 6, 13 plus 12 is 25. It's not there. Not working. 11 minus 2 is 9. Again, can't think of anything here. 8 minus 9 is minus 1 again, so the direction changes. So we don't get anything credible. Now, once you have eliminated all these possibilities, obviously there is something which is happening here, right? So now you will transition into squares, cubes, maybe adding those numbers and then adding some more and then, something of that sort. So when you come with squares is when you realize that if I add 121 and 4, I end up getting 125. And if I divide it by 5, I get 25. I'll check it again. So 8 square is 64 and this is 81. So this is 145. If I divide it by 5, I get 29. So 7 square is 49. This is 36. So this is 85. And if I divide it by 5, I end up getting 17, which is option B. Of course, when you're sitting in a mock or an exam, this might not come to you, no matter how natural and easy this is. Okay, we're just taking the sum of their squares and just dividing it by 5. But because it is not very common is why it makes you think so much. So it's very normal to spend a lot of time here. But the learning which you take away from here is that if at all you come across a question like this, and in the first 10 seconds, even if it is the first question of your exam, don't think about, okay, first 5 questions only, I could not do anything. Now what will I do? Do not let that panic settle in. Because sometimes purposefully they are designed in a way that they'll ruin your remaining paper. Okay, so make sure you go till the end, then solve maximum questions which you can in one go and then come back for these. So it's better to skip it in the first 10 seconds when you realize that this is something which is not conventional. Okay, next. Which of the following addresses are identical to each other? So Pooja Malhotra, we'll check like this vertically. H09, so this is gone. H9, H9, H9. So 2 is gone. So option A and option D are gone. We are left with B and C. B and C have 4 in common. That means we are looking for an address which is exactly same as 4. So Cedar Lane, Jaipur, 177117. So 1717, option 1 and 4 are the same. Option C is the correct answer. Cool, simple. Always vertical observation helps you out. 24 seconds. Next. Okay, quickly look at the letter analogy question here. So 4 minus 1 is 3. 16 minus 1 is 15. 14 minus 1 is 13. 7 minus 1 is 6. 16 minus 1 is 15, 19 minus 1 is 18 and 21 minus 1 is 20. Simply subtracting 1, no matter the vowel, consonant or whatever. So 25 minus 1 is 24. Starting with X, only one option, option C. So Xerox is the correct answer. Okay, 14 seconds. Next. Now 31 square, I think nowadays it is quite common for everybody to tell you to remember squares till 50. And that is the benefit. 31 square is 961. 961 minus 4. So 31 square minus 4. So if I add 4 here, I get 529, which is 23 square. So 23 will be the correct answer. Cool. Option B. 20 seconds. Next. Table is written as this. So donor will be written as what? 20, 21 plus 1. 1, 3 plus 2. 2, 5 plus 3. 12, 16 plus 4. And 5, 10 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now look at the options. First two are E and Q, don't bother. Third one is N plus 3, sorry. So 14 plus 3 is 17, Q. Luckily only Q at the third position is on option A. So option A will be my right answer. 25 seconds, okay. Next. Uh, 17, 13 minus 4. 14, 11 minus 3, 20, 18 minus 2, 13, 12 minus 1. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Again, so we'll look at this one because everything is almost the same except for one option. So we'll just eliminate that also. So 16 minus 4 is 12. So D is gone. 19 minus 3 is 16. So now A and C are left. Third one is O only. Now C minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. So LPOB is the correct answer. Okay. Make it as, I would say, direct and non-verbal as possible. Non-verbal means you are not actually solving or doing anything. Everything you're just visualizing and calculating in your head. For simple questions, at least we can do that. And this is what is going to help you save a lot of time in the reasoning section. Because if this is what we expect the reasoning section to be like, then our aim has to be, even if you are not using this timeline for, let's say, any other section, but then for reasoning, if you approach it like this, you still approach it in a very super fast method, you can actually boost your accuracy. Okay. So let's say you solve your 25 questions, or let's say you solve at least 22 or 23 questions you are done with in a gap of 11 to 12 minutes. So you'll be left with roughly 4 or 5 minutes in the end of, right, roughly here and there, and 3 or 4 minutes, sorry. And in that time that can be very valuable at that moment. Just go through all these questions which you have left behind, and you can think more and generate and re-verify these answers which are going to benefit you. Odd one out, 343 is 7 cube, 512 is 8 cube, 729 is 9 cube, 625 is 25 square. Option D is the correct answer. 13 seconds. Next. Now, century is coded as this, glimpse is coded as this. How will oblique be coded? This particular question, when you see 3 and 13, so you'll feel probably plus 10. 5 and 4 minus 1. 14 and 2 minus 12. 20 and 19 minus 1. 21, 18 minus 3. It's not making sense. You come at the back, 3 and 16 plus 13. Okay. 5 and 23 plus 18. 14 and 18 plus 4. 20. Again, not making sense. Something is going crisscross now. Okay. For crisscross, you'll have to write it down. So century MDB SRWP. For those who can easily track it, it's very easy. Like for here, C and B are quite obvious, M and N are quite obvious. So you can see that the first 3 letters are definitely going like this, crisscross. What is happening here? Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. But for them, you would have felt that, okay, there are 7 letters. So 3 at one end, 3 at one end, 1 in the middle, but this is not working here. Okay. So the other thing is you can think that, okay, probably these 4 will go together, but that is also not happening. So what else is now happening? So just look at them. This is 20, 21, 18, 25. And look at this 19, 18, 23, 16. Now try to establish a relationship. 20, 18, 20, 23 plus 3. Plus 3. Anything else with plus 3? This is minus 3, but this is 1. No. This is 4 and 6. Again, not useful for us. This is 2 and 0. No. Not working. And then we realize this. Okay, this is minus 2. This is minus 2. This is minus 2. This is minus 2. This seems unique, seems different, but this is also possible. So what about the code for oblique? So these 3 will be different. And if you see, this will give you MAN. Sorry, KAN. Which is only happening in option D. So even if you don't check the rest of them, you could have still found out the answer here and marked it. This, I won't even call it a risk, but you need to understand what exactly is happening. Okay, so option D is the correct answer. 45 seconds. This is a good question actually. Success. We can see the word very clearly. So the first one is U. 2, 3, fourth one is S. 2, 3, fourth one is S. And third last is S. So SUCCESS. So C and E. UCE. These 2 are gone. UCE. Next one. SUCC. Option B is the right answer. ESS. SUCCESS. Okay. So option B is the right answer. 49 seconds. Next. Okay, correct placement. These questions were easier today. See, division is here. 5 divided by 855 is going to be a big fraction. And then cancellation also not possible because of this multiplication sign here. So it is not going to yield anything apart from a fraction. We need 240 here. So this is definitely not my answer. Apart from that, division is here only fixed. So 855 divided by 5. So double of 855 is 1710. Remove the 0. So it is 171. Calculation should be quick. Now look at the rest of them. If you see, what 171 multiplied by 251 is surely not going to be my answer because it's going to be a very large number. So this is also not true. Now in the remaining ones, into is here. So this is 320. Now you tell me 327, 171, 251. With a unit digit, it is not useful. Both of them will get 0 only. So what do I do? What do I do? Do I add both of them or do I subtract both of them? So a lot of people feel that I can add some of these two. So this is 571 minus 171 is 400. This is not possible. So now it's quite clear option B is the only answer. When you've eliminated 3 options very beautifully, you can go ahead with the 4th one. Or here it is a win-win actually. Even if you would have checked B, you would have gotten your correct answer. So you would have still marked that only right away. So if you can eliminate 2 options very clearly, this will not become a very problematic question for you. Okay. Next. What will appear opposite to 3 in this figure? See, whenever they are asking you a question where the said face is not present in any of the faces, in any of the figures, the answer is always the face which is common everywhere. So 5 is common here, 5 has to be my answer. Okay. This is based on the adjacent principle. So option B, 5 is the correct answer. Okay. 12 seconds. Next. Paper cutting and folding. See, there's a triangular cut here. What is happening is the triangle flap is coming here and then we are closing it as a trapezium. Then there's a triangular cut here. So this cut will go here and yeah, it will not go on the top, will it? No, it will not go on the top, but this cut will be reciprocated here. So this will not remain as a corner. That means option 1 and 4 are gone. We are only left with 3 and 2. And now this here, it's a clear indication is going to be a square, not a kite, not a rhombus. So it has to be option figure 3. Very simple. 2 set observations and we get our answer. 19 seconds. Next. Which 2 signs should be interchanged? Look at the division sign. 136 divided by 17 is 8. If I change divide and into, divide will be here, useless. Okay. No, wait, it can still make sense, can't it be? Divide is here and into is here. So this is 32 divided by 136 into 17. So this is still 8 and this is 4. This whole unit is 4. But this is of none of my, this is not useful to me. So this division is gone, no use. That means this division is here only. So this is 8. Now 8 into 32 is 256. 256 and 240 is 496. This is not going to yield 176 at all. So that means into is a problematic thing here. Into can be shifted. Think about that now. Into and minus you will check. So into and minus when we check here, this is into and this is minus. So 240 plus 32 minus 96. So 272 minus 96 and that's it, 176. Option A is the right answer. Okay. So this is how we check it. 50 seconds. Calculation is probably slow. Next. Here, if we look at the question is telling us that you chair a scholarship committee and a top candidate missed attaching a required income certificate because the district office was shut for floods the whole week. The deadline is tonight. 2 other applicants submitted all documents on time. What should you do? Should you reject the application to maintain strict fairness to timely applicants? Now, I myself have taught in my sessions that you have to strictly adhere to the rules when it comes to ethical dilemma, right? And this is one such scenario where you should strictly ideally adhere to the rules. But the rules have not mentioned anywhere that you cannot give a consideration. Number 1. Okay. Number 2, the reason here clearly is a natural calamity which is out of control of the said student, and there may be others also who are suffering from the same problem. So rejecting them outright is something where like I am punishing them for something which they have not even done. It's not in their hands, right? So this is, I'll still keep a hold at this. I'll read the next option. It is publicly announced a 72-hour extension limited to applicants from officially flood affected areas and verify documents before evaluation. This seems to be a very good option. If I read further, privately allow only this candidate. This is not fair. A lot of people feel that, okay, if the news will not go out and if there will be no buzz, maybe I can make an exception for this one candidate. No, there will be more candidates surely who have been affected by these floods, and it's unfair towards them. And submit all names without the certificate. This is resolving the dilemma for you. You are like, oh, I'll submit it. I don't care. Let the others check it. This is also not something which you will do. So C and D are gone. Now out of A and B, B is the most appropriate one. where you are giving a chance to everybody now. You're publicly saying I'm giving you 72-hour more window, okay, where only those students will be considered who are coming from those flood affected areas. Of course, you'll be verifying the documents for the same, and then you'll take their submissions. You're still not giving everybody scholarships. You're just taking their submissions. Decision for scholarships will be done later on. So taking their submission is not a problem. So option B is actually the correct answer here, the most appropriate one to take up in this situation. Now, each of the letters in the word massive are arranged in the alphabetical order. How many letters are there in the English alphabetical series that appear after the 6th letter from the left end? Okay, when I don't have to arrange the whole thing. When I arrange this in increasing alphabetical order, 6th is this one, this place. And it has to be SSV in the end. So this will be S. How many letters are after S in the English alphabet? After S means after 19 positions in the English alphabet. Generally, they ask you how many letters are between this and this, but this time they've only given you one. So from S, after S, how many letters are there, including till Z? 19, 26, 7 letters. Option C is the correct answer. It's that simple. Okay, 42 seconds. Next. Meaningful word, jumbled. AGINMR. Okay. It can be farming. It can be framing. Anything else which I'm missing out on? I don't think so. Yeah. So FARFRA. F is 7. A is 1. R is 6. M is 5. So 7615 or 7165, right? 7165 is not there only. 7615 is there. If I check it till the end, framing is the answer. Option C is correct. Okay. This is by virtue of me knowing the word. I mean, I can figure it out from the letters. If you can't, straight away start checking the options. Start from the common ones and you'll end up getting your correct answers. Okay. B greater than W. Is it true? That's absolutely true. This will get cancelled. This will get cancelled. B is greater than W. P greater than W? No. P is greater than equal to W. So an indefinite relation cannot lead to a definite conclusion. So only one is true. Option A is correct. Don't forget this rule ever. Common questions you can come across from these concepts. How many squares are there in the given figure? Okay. Options are very close. 12, 15, 17, 13. Let me... Okay. So we look at this part. This is a square with a plus sign in between. So 5 squares for me here. Then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more squares. Then there is this single square. 1 and this entire square. 2. Apart from that, there is no other square. Okay. A lot of people will consider this one also as a square. Not possible. Why? Because if I am considering this already as a square, so I have understood that this side is equal to this side. Now, if I consider this side, then I cannot get it equal to this whole side, no, because this is an extra side here. So these are not squares. Only the one in the middle, which you have already counted, is square. So 10 and 2, 12. That's it. There is no other square in this figure. So you have to be pretty confident about this one. All right. 40 seconds. Next. Argument-based questions. The approach is to only check for the strength of the argument, not for the correctness or incorrectness of the argument. So the question below, statement says, should shops be allowed to refuse cash and accept only digital payments, card or UPI, for bills above rupees 500? This is what the statement is suggesting. Okay. Now there are, let's say, 2 debaters, or let's say there are 2 lawyers who are presenting this case in front of you. One of them is saying, yes, this should be done. Okay, fine. And the reasoning, what can be the reasoning? It sounds very lucrative that, you know, if I actually ban your cash transactions of more than 500 rupees in shops and areas, so my dependency of the whole economy will reduce on the hard cash and will increase more on the digital payments. That way, of course, I can eradicate black money. I can somehow control inflation because I'm controlling the flow of money in the market. Cash liquid flow is less. And also manufacturing the money in terms of hard physical money. If I save a lot of amount there, that is also beneficial for my country. So overall, it sounds very lucrative. Now, if these were the reasons, it is very good for the economy. But what is the reason given here? Because digital payments always take exactly 2 seconds and never fail. Very vague and baseless argument. So this is very weak. The answer could have been right in yes, but the argument is weak overall because the supporting fact, the premise is weak. Second one says no, it can exclude people without reliable internet or banking access, and system failures can block essential purchases. That's true. Let's say you are stranded somewhere in the middle of anywhere, I mean, in the middle of nowhere. Let's say there's a medical store, you are direly in need of a medicine, and that ends up costing you, let's say, 560 rupees. You have just crossed the margin of 500 rupees. Person is saying, sir, you have to pay online only, I cannot take cash, not allowed. You are like, okay, let me try online, but your account is blocked due to some of the other reason. You're done with no UPI payment, no medicine, die. That is something, of course, that's a valid argument, right? Or there may be people who might not have a reliable internet connection. That's possible. Or in India, because you feel that you are using internet banking, it is that widespread, it is not. Okay. So there still are a wide majority of people who still don't have bank accounts also. Or even if they do, they are very basic accounts, the Jan Dhan accounts. So this is possible. So argument 2 is very strong. So argument 2 is strong. Option D is the correct answer. I am not asking you to think this much when you're sitting in the exam, but this is the general approach of this question is what I'm trying to tell you. That how you approach an argument based question. Okay. Couple traveled 7 kilometers towards northeast. So from here, the starting point is traveling 7 kilometers northeast, followed by 12 kilometers southwards, followed by 7 kilometers southwest. So this is how he is going. Now followed by 5 kilometers towards the west. So he is traveling 5 kilometers towards the west here. And he stops here. The question is asking you, what is the distance between this point and this point? How do we find it? So we'll join this portion. Okay, this is a 90-degree angle and this side is 12. Why? Because this is a parallelogram. It does not have to be a rectangle or a square only. Any quadrilateral which has opposite sides equal can work here. So this is a parallelogram, 12 and 12. Okay, so this is 12, this is 5 in a right angle triangle, this is 13, the hypotenuse. So option A is the right answer. Cool. Simple figure had to be drawn, that's it. 45 seconds, too much for a direction question. Probably this was approached later on. All old is gold, all gold is metal, all metal are conductors. Some conductors are gold. So the first one is only correct. We have to check for the correct conclusion out of the 4. First one is correct. Why do I check the rest of them? I have gotten my answer. Done. Okay, 25 seconds. Next. Okay, this also I saw in the Hindi section actually. I got stuck here, spent a large amount of time, and I also felt, I announced it there, I'll announce it here also. Okay. See, the problem is that in a letter series based question, even if it's a cluster series, you can't just randomly start doing something. For example, if I take a number series, let's say I have a number here 10, 19, 27, 35. This is the logic. Now you tell me what is the next number. So you will say, okay, this is plus 9, this is plus 8, this is plus 8. Is this a valid logic? Can I figure something out? What is the next one? Is it 7? What is it? Okay. And also, if I put a question mark here, now what will you do? Will you think of going plus 8 again? Unless that's the only valid option. Again, no. Because 9, 8, 8 is not making any sense. Okay. The problem is that if I have a hint that something is like this, let's say plus 9, and I have an 8 here. So now I can understand that the hint is telling me that this is probably plus 8 again. That makes sense. Okay. The problem here is if I look at this one, 2 and 11 is plus 9. 4 and 13 is plus 9, 7 and 16 is plus 9, 8 and 17 is plus 9. Okay. Now from here to here, I need to find out. So what will I think? I'll think of plus 9. 11 plus 9 is 20. It's not there. Okay. Then I thought alternate. So maybe when I thought alternate, I saw that 11 and 1. So is minus 10. Okay. 13 and 3 minus 10. 16 and 6 minus 10. 17 and 7 minus 10. So probably here also it will be minus 10. So 2 minus 10 or 28 minus 10 is 18. So now I get R and I'm very happy. I have R here. So these two options will not be correct. But then this is 30. 30 minus 10 is 20. The next one should have been T. It's not there. Again not there. Making no sense. So now I was left with nothing. What I did is I simply found out the differences between K and PQ and each of the following. One thing which I understood was that if I look at the difference between K and A, okay, in a positive sense, not in a negative sense. Okay, if I take it as 11 and if I take it as 27, so what am I doing? I'm increasing 16 units here. 16 units are increased in every letter. If I'm increasing by 16 units, if I'm increasing by 16 units, then that means the increase can be in two equal parts, 8 and 8. But then first one is 9, then 8 and 8 is not making sense. I'll still try. So I'll check for the differences. So this is 11 and this is 18. So the difference is 7 units. Then 13 and 21, 8 units. 16 and 25, 9 units. And 17 and 26, this is 9 units again. Not making sense. SUXY, so 11 and 19, 8 units. 13 and 21, 8 units. 16, 24, 8 units. 17, 25, 8 units. Okay. Then I check RUXY. So this is 8, 8, 8, I already know. And R is 7, again does not make sense. And SUXZ. So S is 8, U is 8, X is also 8, but Z is 9. Again not making sense. This is only one option which makes sense. If I put it here SUXY. So again, this is plus 9, this is plus 8, this is plus 8. This is random, this is random. This randomization might, I'm not sure, without a hint, can I take this into consideration or not? Ideally, this question, what I feel strongly, either they should have changed B, D, G, H to the next set. Plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So everything would have been plus 8. Okay. Or there had to be some hint which needed to be introduced. Because if I'm giving 1, 9 and 1, 8, or not even, I'm not giving anything. I'm just giving 1, 9. What in my brain will make me think that the next two consecutive differences have to be 8? That's just a wild guess, right? Based on options. So I'll get stuck and eventually I'll have to find the options and then take a risk. I might not even take that risk. So ideally, I'm not saying the question is wrong per se. Logically, it is not wrong. But then it is not a very well-defined question. So then, hence I had announced, I told the students that what you can do is at your end, if you have not attempted this question, or if you have left this question, or if you have marked it incorrectly, you can give yourself a bonus score as of now, just to check that what your actual score will be. Because discrepancies like these can definitely happen in your final exam also, right? There will be questions which will be changed eventually. So this is how you know the things work. Select the term that breaks the pattern. This is actually a good question. Breaks the pattern means wrong number series. So 15 and 18 plus 3 plus 4. First thought which comes to our mind, plus 5. So this is 27. Lot of people end up marking this right away. Don't do that. The biggest mistake you commit in a wrong number case. Wrong number means you'll have to check everything after it also. Check it to the last number. 27 plus 47 is 20 units and this is 13 units. It's making no sense. 3, 4, 5. Then 3, 4, 5, 20, 13. Okay. This is useless. So this is not the correct answer. Also, first you check the options. So you see that 15 and 20 are actually correct. They are not, 22 are actually correct. They are not incorrect. Something between 18, 30, 47 and 60 is wrong. What else do I do? Double or anything, multiplication is not working. I have no option other than taking differences. So I take the difference. This is 3, this is 4, this is 8, this is 17 and this is 13. So this, after an increase, sudden decrease is actually creating a problem. But if I take the double difference, I get 1, I get 4 and I get 9. This should be sufficient enough to click, to light a bulb in my head that these are perfect squares. 1 square, 2 square, 3 square. So next one should be 4 square, that is 16. So 13 is not working out. 17 plus 16 should be 33. So 60 will not be true. 47 plus 33 will be 80. That should be the correct answer. So 60 is the wrong term. Makes sense? Okay. Again, coming here is not going to be easy. But one of the approaches is this, where you find or approach it with a normal number series based question. Check the double difference and it will help you out. Next, complete the following series. Now, this is something which is pure knowledge based. I repeatedly tell you in my classes, especially for the, for prerequisites of number based questions, and I tell you, please remember the first 100 prime numbers. So a lot of people, they remember the range from 2 to 100. These are not 100 prime numbers. This is a range between which there are some prime numbers. I want you to remember the list of the first 100 prime numbers. That is where you will be, getting very confident. If you know these are all consecutive prime numbers, it would have been very easy. If you don't know, then people will start doing this. So plus 4, plus 14, plus 4. So plus 14. Okay, so 145, it's not there. Now what do I do? Wrong question. Let's move ahead. Of course not. These are all consecutive prime numbers. 109, 113, 127, 131. Next is 137 and then 139. So option B is the right answer. If you know this, this is the only one approach which you can take up. Okay. And the last and final question is this. B is the father of J. K is the brother of A, who is the mother of I. Don't draw right now. H is the daughter of J. J is the sister of K. Now we can see K is the brother of A, who is the mother of I. Question is, how is I related to H? Same level, not connected, cousins. I is the cousin of H. And cousin word is gender neutral. Even if you don't know the gender of I, we can still answer I to be a cousin. So option D is the right answer. Cool, chill. 33 seconds. So with that, we are done with the logical reasoning section. Barring a few exceptions, generally the questions were easy only. Okay, but you are seeing that the variety is constantly changing. So we are not very sure exactly what is going to happen in the exam, but we are preparing with a very mixed approach. Okay, sometimes we are getting difficult questions, sometimes easier questions. Some questions will be incorrect also, because you have to reciprocate what is probably going to happen and focus on the word probably. Nobody knows what is going to happen. Whoever is coming online telling you, oh, this is going to come, that is going to come, everything is prediction, right? So the idea is for you to be able to approach it in any way whatsoever, maximize it, optimize it in the most best way so that it benefits you. Now the idea is, some students often ask me that when we have been giving mock consistently now, and for one mock we perform a huge lengthy analysis and we get to know that where we are lacking, where we are going wrong, and how much we need to work on a particular topic, a particular subject, etc, etc, etc. But how do I understand what is the pattern for my last 10 mocks? How well have I done in a particular topic now? Have I improved? How do I know? Maybe there were two questions which are difficult, so I could not do it, and now there are two questions easy of the same topic, so I could do it. How do I analyze overall? So a lot of toppers swear by this, that they used to keep records of their consistent mocks, and then they used to fill it in an Excel sheet. You can see in one of my interviews also, one of the toppers has claimed this. And then they used to extrapolate those sheets into graphs. And those graphs, they used to give them a rough idea that overall is it increasing, decreasing, or a flat line. So what is their performance? But that's all they can do with it. That's all they can do with the numbers, the data. And it is very time consuming also. So what Oliveboard has done is, Oliveboard has made this wonderful feature for all of you, where if you just look at here, above this exact mock, Olive score. So this is your exam readiness score. This is the score, 17 in this mock, in this case. So if I click on view full report, this is what opens up for me. Score, an average score, which is obtained by an amalgamation of 6 individual parameters. Individual independent parameters. So these are the 6 parameters on which this score is generated. There are a lot of calculations involved here, and this is a very dynamic score, so it will consistently change when you keep appearing for more and more mocks. And this is the complete setup, a comparative analysis of all your mocks which you have attempted on this platform so far. So with this dummy account, I have attempted all these mocks here. You can see some live mocks. I have also taken some sessions on the Hindi YouTube channel, where I'm solving 15 minutes, 25 questions of previous year's reasoning sections. So you can see those papers also here. And for each mock, your total score is generated here. So your overall percentile, your subject-wise percentile, here. Okay. Each individual mock has their own solution analysis and advanced report here. So everything is comparative. Okay. Now, see, this is the next parameter, competence. This is the next parameter, coverage. From here, they've generated this data that these are the topics where you're lacking right now. You need to cover these topics ASAP. Okay. You can see this color-coded tags here. They are auto-generated. So they'll let you know what is your standing and how much you need to improve. But even better than this is actually a very good input. But if you click on recovery playlist, this becomes more interesting. Supposedly, I want to know how well have I performed in a particular topic in the last 10, 12, 15 mocks. Okay. So this is divided topic wise, subject wise. So if I pick up blood relations, the first topic of logical reasoning, so this opens up. So from this dummy account, I have attempted, let's say, how many number of mocks, which consisted 26, overall 26 questions of blood relations, out of which how many you have attempted, how many were correct, how many were wrong, what is your accuracy of blood relations alone, and what is your average time taken for blood relations alone. This is not on one mock. This is in lieu of all the mocks which you have given so far on this platform with a particular account. And then this auto-generated color-coded tag comes up. Again, don't go with the text, go with the color. Red means you're in a critical situation. You need to go through this topic thoroughly once again and then go through the questions to come back to speed. If it is yellow, it implies that you are okay, but you need some practice. And if it is green, you're good to go. You just continue practicing through the mocks, and that's more than sufficient. So utilize this data accurately, extract from your resources as much as you can. Don't just gather resources feeling that, yeah, I have this, I have that, and everything is there in the dormant mode, and no attention given to it. Then it is useless. So if something is being developed for you free of cost, please go ahead and utilize it. This is available for the super elite subscribers. So once you check it, you will be able to understand how this Olive score works. I think it's available for everybody. Just go and look at it, okay? And how this is going to benefit you. So how nicely can you do a comparative analysis among all the mocks? That's the whole idea. That's enough for today. Thank you so much for watching till here, guys. If you're new on the Oliveboard platform, hit that subscribe button right away, like this video, and share it across platforms so that other students can also benefit from these sessions, can see how to approach a particular section in a mock. And if they're just looking for the solutions of official Oliveboard mocks, then they're more than welcome here. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you around in the next session. Till then, you guys take care. Bye-bye. Namaskar. Jai Hind.